To the big story, the National Investigating Agency is conducting massive searches across 6 states in a crackdown on the growing digital arrest scams. It has been learned that at least 22 locations are being raided by the agency, which handles counter-terrorism and cybercrime enforcement. Digital arrests are amongst the most reported cybercrimes in the country today. According to the Home Ministry, Indians have lost a staggering 120 crores to digital arrests in just the first quarter of 2023. Last month, the Times network uncovered exclusive details about a huge scam network operating out of Cambodia and Myanmar, targeting over 6,000 victims. Scammers disguised as Indian police officers have been extorting money from unsuspecting citizens using Chinese-run casinos turned call centers as the base of operations. Let's go across quickly to our guests who are joining me for a very important chat here. I've been joined by Advocate Virag Gupta, cyber law expert, and also I'm being joined by Arvind Kumar Jain, former DGP of UP. Mr. Jain, I'll start with you first. It seems that finally the Indian state has realized that countering digital arrest scams cannot be done on a case-by-case basis. There's a larger racket and a larger nexus behind this plethora of scams that needs to be cut off at the source.
Yes, there was a lot of adverse publicity because of these digital arrests which have taken place throughout the country. Some very important people, they have been duped like this, and several crores have been taken from individuals. So NIA has taken the right action, and I think the raids will have an impact. Call centers have been detected, and they have succeeded in nabbing a few accused. It's a step in the right direction, and I think it will help in curbing this malpractice of digital arrest. Government of India has made it clear that there is nothing like digital arrest in BNS or in old IPC. So people shouldn't get worried and should not surrender to such people. But even then, I don't know why well-read people, people who are well placed in society, why are they succumbing to it? So I think it's a step in the right direction. People will get it's a morale boosting step on the part of NIA, and people will welcome it throughout the country.
All right, Viraj Gupta, given the massive challenge that this doesn't this pose a massive challenge in terms of cybersecurity? Because the levels of sophistication that we have seen in the digital arrest scams, when we see even someone who's a top CEO, someone who's an IIT student is being duped by the levels of sophistication and authenticity which comes out from these digital arrest scams. They're very well trained, not just in psychologically manipulating their victims, but also in projecting an era of a presentation of authenticity. How clearly they are quite sophisticated in terms of cyber tech, then the counter also has to beat them at their own game.
Mr. Bhattacharya, there are three aspects of this organized crime, and this is one of the cyber fraud. One is that we don't have the data protection law and rules, so they have all our data. Secondly, there are telecom lapses from the telecom circle, for which government has framed the telecom rules. As per those rules, they have to report all such crimes within 6 hours. And thirdly, there is a banker network also, because large scale mool accounts are being used, and government has identified some 4.5 lakh such accounts. But let me tell you, all these digital arrest cases, most of the cases have happened with the rich, educated, and law-abiding persons. Now, before discussing on this subject, government is not reporting all such cases in the crime. That's the main problem. Across country, this problem is happening, but those cases are not being reported by the police. So before resolving the issue, we must identify the issue. Now let us see the NCRB data. As per NCRB data, in 2020, some 50,000, 21, 52,000, and 2022, only 65,000 cyber crime cases were reported by the police. Now let us come to the reality. As per the Google full page advertisements, they have some identified daily 15 billion spam calls. Now our telecom minister says 1.5 crore calls were blocked daily basis. Now, yesterday there was a finance ministry report which says in UPI there were some 27 lakhs cases were reported of the fraud. Now, all these fraud
Okay.
cases, which are being reflected in the RBI, Finance Ministry, or other agencies' reports, are not reflected in the crime record. That's the biggest problem. I visited one of the small town in UP, and in that place, some three digital arrest cases were reported, and one of the person committed the suicide. But those cases are not reported in the national media. So digital arrest and cyber fraud is a national crisis which must be addressed by the central government and the state government, because law and order, as per the 7th schedule of the Constitution, comes within the
Okay.
scope of the state government.
All right. So then, then at this point, let me also bring in Arvind Kumar Jain. Mr. Jain, then do you agree with the assessment coming in from Viraj Gupta that in terms of our laws itself, we are still trying to tackle 21st century or at least the new crimes of 2024 and 2025 based on laws that were still, in terms of data and in terms of cybersecurity, that was still drawn out decades ago?
Yes, he's correct. And one thing I would like to add that the police forces in the country, they are not well prepared. State police forces, cyber crime police stations have been opened, but they don't have any. I won't say any, but much of the knowledge of these. I have been suggesting that ethical hackers or some computer experts should be taken on hire and deputed at police stations so that they can be trainers of the staff. Staff should be trained throughout the country in this issue, on this matter, because in police training colleges also elementary knowledge is given of this, and there are now MTech, BTech, MCOM joining as constables and as sub inspectors, but they have to be given training, and if they get training, they will be, I think, turned into very good investigators, and they will be able to nab these people, because this has now become very, very widespread throughout the country. I keep on meeting people
Indeed.
who tell me that this is the issue. So many people ring me up that they are demanding so and so. I immediately tell them to block the number and to leave the mobile phone. So several of them have been saved like this, but still this is going on, and throughout the country it is going on. It has become a very, very big nuisance for the citizens of this country.
Absolutely. Advocate Viraj Gupta, then for the benefit of our viewers, what are the key precautions you feel they must keep in mind every time they get a call? Keep in mind that the calls are not of the same type. Every time they find newer ways or newer styles or newer role plays to try and throw their victims off their guard. So, what are the basic precautions that our viewers must keep in mind, especially senior citizens who are watching, in order to ensure that they don't fall victim to these digital arrest scams?
I have written many opinions that there are no such cases of digital arrest. There is no such provision in the law, whether it is ED, CBI, income tax,
Yeah.
that there is no such provision for the online recording of the statement and online summoning. So only as per the court order, only email can be sent, and there is no such online. Even Supreme Court Chief Justice Court was used for by the digital arrest person. But let me tell you that if we are living in Punjab, in Pakistan border, so to safeguard the citizen from the attack from the neighboring country, army and the government must function. I feel that this is organized crime, not impacting few individuals. This is impacting the whole society. Women are because besides this digital arrest, other crimes are there, other financial frauds are there, and government, I think, is not taking it seriously, and this will impact our, because there was one report which says that in 2047 there may be some 17 lakhs crore some cyber crime cases in India. So if we are moving towards a big economy and we are not controlling these digital frauds and the cyber fraud, so our whole UPI,
Okay.
this revolution and our cyber revolution may be impacted because of these frauds.
All right, Advocate Viraj Gupta, I think we've thank you so much for joining us with your perspectives. Also, thank you Arvind Kumar Jain for joining us with your detailed inputs and opinions as well.